Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, I'm Karina, an English teacher living abroad. Right now I'm in France and I'm sharing with you my tips for teaching English and some of my travel experience. In today's video, we're going to be talking about the cost of living in Provence, France with an English teacher's salary. So get your pen, get your pencil, get your notebook, alright, get comfortable and let's get to class. Don't forget to like, subscribe, comment, you know the drill. So, we're going to be looking at an average English teacher, freelance English teacher's salary in Provence over a period of a month. So let's assume that you're making around 30 euros per hour. So 30 euros per hour is kind of at the high cap of what companies would pay. For a lot of English teachers, you would be in the range of, let's say, 17 euros to 25, right? That's kind of the average median for a lot of English teachers. If you have a lot of experience and a really great CV, you can then sort of be capping at the 27 to 30 euros an hour or even more, right? It depends. But like I said, let's look at the 30 euros per hour. So 30 euros per hour and you make an average salary of about 3,000 euros per month, okay? So for freelance English teachers, of course, you have taxes to pay here in France, and for an average salary, 3,000 a month, which would be around 36,000 a year, you would be required to pay about 15 to 20% of that in taxes. All right, so that's inevitable. You really cannot avoid this. It will happen. Be prepared for it. In addition to that, you have your social security contributions, which would be kind of on a monthly basis, about 20 to 25% of your earnings per month or for that month. All right, so these are two things that you absolutely have to budget for, and you must consider in trying to figure out what money you would actually have as your take-home income. All right, great. The next thing you want to budget for would be healthcare. You're going to need to have some private healthcare or private health insurance. This is not very expensive, about 30 to 50 euros per month. It could be higher depending on the type of coverage you need or your specific health situation, but we're looking at an average range of 30 to 50 euros per month. Stay with me, we have a lot to cover. So the next thing would be transport. So I guess there are two sides to the transport. If you are relying on public transport per month, it could be around 30 euros to 50 euros per month, depending on the city in Provence where you're at. So yes, that's a healthy average, I would say, and it's completely just. However, if you would like to own a car, buy a car, lease a car, you're looking at a higher monthly expenditure. I would say that would range between 100 euros and 300 euros for an average car. If you don't want to have a really fancy luxury car, right? An average car to get you from point A to B, 100 to 300 euros per month. All right, so the next thing is food. Groceries, eating out, that kind of thing. So on average for groceries, you're going to want to budget 200 on the low end, 200 euros, right, to 400 euros on the upper end. Of course, this depends on your dietary requirements, your eating style, things like that. But for myself, it ranges between these two. Sometimes I don't really go more than 200 euros a month. Sometimes I get to the 400 euros a month, depending on what I'm shopping for, what I'm buying, what I'm eating, right? If you want to go out to eat at a restaurant, at a kind of a mid-range restaurant, it could be maybe 10 euros to 20 euros. Now I would say actually a bit more. Let's say 15 euros to 30 euros. That would be it for one course meal. For a 3-course meal, I would say very easily it could be 40 euros to 60 euros or a bit more, right, for one person. This is for one person that I'm talking about. So again, 15 euros to about 30 euros for one course, and 3-course meal easily, very easily, 45 euros to about 60 euros. So the next really important point, of course, is where you gonna live, right? Housing. So housing in Provence can be expensive, again, depending on the city, the location in the city, and all of these factors that you naturally know exist. However, on average, I would say for a one-bedroom apartment or mini home kind of thing, you're looking at 700 euros to 1,200 euros, depending again on the location, which city you're at, the location in the city as well. Yeah, and in terms of utilities per month, easily 100 euros to 150 euros. All right, so that's a pretty fair, I would say, average. Yeah, and the next bit is things like entertainment or just miscellaneous activities. Of course, this depends on your lifestyle and what you like to do. I would say per month, average about 50 to 150 euros going out for miscellaneous expenses, like maybe going out to the movies, to the cinema, or maybe a gym membership that you have, or maybe some activities that you want to do with friends or club that you've joined, things like that. 50 to 150 euros or more, right? Depends on you and what you want to do. So all in all of those figures we considered, if your expenses, all in all of those figures we considered, your expenses could be around 1,600 euros per month to 2,300 euros per month. All right, leaving you with around 700 euros as extra money that you can probably put towards your savings or something else, right? So it doesn't sound like a lot, but that is unfortunately the life the life here in Provence. Of course, if you're on the higher end of any of these expenses, you're looking at anywhere from 2,300 euros to hitting your max of your budget of 3,000 euros. So you would have to do your planning accordingly, budget accordingly. However, with 3,000 euros per month before taxes, generally you have a really comfortable life in Provence. You can still travel through Europe if you would like to, do lots of activities. So it's a good salary, and it can go a long way. So 3,000 euros per month before taxes, it's a really healthy salary. It's a pretty good salary. You could always aim for more, definitely. I would always encourage you, aim for more, right? But then once you cover your taxes and social security, you're looking at around 2,400, 2,300, right? So that kind of depends on your personal situation, right? So keeping that in mind, the 2,400 take home for your life, then everything in your life should fit within this bracket, right? Pretty doable, honestly, pretty doable. So overall, I would say life in Provence is probably a little bit more expensive than in other areas of France or other areas of Europe, but you have the perks of the life, the great smells, lovely summer, the lovely food, great people. You have a nice, a privileged or a slightly luxurious life, even though you could say you pay for it. It definitely costs you, but it's worth it. Experience it once in your life and don't look back. So that brings us to the end of this video, where I had just a quick overview of the costs of living in Provence. Let me know if this was helpful for any of you thinking about moving to Provence to teach English. Give it a go. I'll be here. Give me a shout. I can help you along the way. If you like this video, give it a like, subscribe, and leave a comment if you have any other questions that I can happily answer for you. Until then, I'll see you in my next video. Bye.